Is inflammation the leading cause of diseases?
Yes.
Is all inflammation bad?
No.
Can you diagnose inflammation early?
Yes.
Is aging also related to inflammation?
Yes. WHO has termed that low-grade inflammation is the leading killer now, because low-grade inflammation is a part of every disease, be it diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's. So what we eat is secondary, I think. Important is how we eat, how we hold ourselves.
A very warm namaste to everyone and welcome to HimVeda. Today I'm here with Dr. Sharma again.
Namaste.
How are you, Dr. Sharma?
Good. How are you?
I'm good too.
Okay.
So today we're going to do something different. We're going to do a quick rapid fire of questions. Today's topic is inflammation, and Dr. Sharma, you have to say yes or no to questions, and if really necessary, then you can answer with one line at max.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
So without wasting any time, let's get started. So the first question is inflammation the leading cause of diseases?
Yes.
Okay. Is all inflammation bad?
No.
Can you diagnose inflammation early?
Yes.
Is aging also related to inflammation?
Yes.
So can it be reversed? Inflammation.
Inflammation? Yes.
Okay. So that was it for our rapid fire, and now let's get to the podcast. So I want to know, what is inflammation? Like, I hear from the word, it says inflame, like it's something is burning, maybe something is in flame. So can you tell me about it?
Yes, you are right. So as the word says it, inflammation. So as if some fire is burning, something is on fire, flame. So if our immunity is a big umbrella, then inflammation would be a small part of that umbrella.
Okay.
So inflammation is a part of our immunity or immune system.
So it's not bad?
No, not all inflammation is bad. Let's say you got a pain in throat, or what we call pharyngitis, tonsillitis, because there was some bacteria or virus in the air you inhaled. And as you know, this part is known as the gatekeeper. We have a lot of lymphatic tissue, a lot of fighting mechanism in this part, because it's the first portal of entry to the body. So that's why we keep getting these infections here. Okay. So this is the first line of defense. And what happens is you get pain in throat and swelling, redness, heat. Heat, maybe you just feel the heat here, or sometimes you feel heat all over, like a fever.
So heat means the body is burning up.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Like sometimes when you get injured, you feel a little heat.
So this is what healthy inflammation is.
Okay.
This is an example. Or let's say you cut yourself accidentally, or you slided off a motorbike and you got an injury, and then it got infected. So again, it turns red, hot, swelling. So this is again healthy inflammation. So it's a way to fight an infection or fight any injury, or so it's a healing mechanism. But when it gets out of control, then it can be a cause of disease. So there are 4 aspects of inflammation: the reddishness, heat, swelling, and pain.
Okay.
So they together make the signs of inflammation.
Okay. So if I have some of these, then it means that that part is probably going through inflammation?
Yes. So I always try to relate it to like an army. Let's say a country is attacked by a foreign force, and then the army goes to fight, and then there is a fight. So to fight, there must be some heat. Okay. So army is not a peacekeeper or a peace loving. Yes. So to fight, there has to be heat. So there is heat, and then there is bloodshed. So redness, and then there will be damage to the cities, to the arms and ammunition. There will be dead bodies. So that's the swelling. Okay. And pain. All this will of course cause pain. So similarly, the army of red blood cells here is attacking the foreign invaders, and there is some killing going on. Some of the foreign invaders will die, or some of the army will also die, and there will be more blood supply coming. So reddishness and blood brings heat with itself. So reddishness, heat, pain, swelling, all this happens. This is about the healthy aspect of inflammation.
So what's the unhealthy or like the dangerous part of it?
Yes, so the dangerous part is when this So again, the army fights the foreign invaders, and then the fight ends, and then the army comes back to its barracks,
Okay.
and there is peace.
Okay.
So when the army fails to return to the barracks and there's a continuous fight, that's prolonged inflammation. So that's disease.
Okay.
So inflammation in health, that's one aspect. Let's keep it aside. Then inflammation in disease.
Okay.
Again, two types. One is more acute, or you can call it a high-grade inflammation. So it happens in mostly autoimmune diseases.
Okay.
You know autoimmune diseases?
Yes. Can you name some?
So autoimmune disease when the body attacks its own self.
Okay.
So if it happens in this area, thyroiditis, when the thyroid is attacked, you get thyroid problems. The brain is attacked by its own antibodies, multiple sclerosis. Your joints, knee joint or any joint is attacked, then rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
Skin is attacked, and psoriasis.
Yes.
Then all over there could be lupus disease. So all these are some of the examples more common of autoimmune diseases.
Okay.
And sometimes gut is attacked, your gut or intestine, celiac disease.
Okay.
So there is pain, there is diarrhea. So in all these diseases there is this pain, heat, swelling and all that, and it happens quickly, and it is acute.
Okay.
And it is a major illness.
Okay.
So all of these are caused by some kind of inflammation only. So how we try to relate it, like army, again the example of army in this case is turning on against the civilian population, against its own population.
Okay.
So instead of attacking the enemy, the army is attacking its own population, which it should have protected.
Yes.
So this is autoimmunity. So the army doesn't need much time. It has all the weapons, and just some general will rise overnight and decide to attack.
Yes.
So in the morning itself, the attack happens and everything is taken over.
So it's very quick.
Quick. So this is autoimmunity, acute inflammation.
Okay. So this is autoimmunity. And what about diseases like diabetes, maybe? Or something that arises slow? Something
Yes,
like
so the second disease aspect of inflammation is slow growing, or we call it a low grade inflammation.
Okay.
And slowly developing or chronic.
Okay.
So herein the example comes that let's say the army is not turning against its own people, but the population itself is dissatisfied. The government is not taking care of the people. Good ration is not being supplied, not good food, not many opportunities. So slowly there will be radicalization in the society.
Okay.
And the society, some part of the society will turn up against.
Yes, they start to revolt.
But it happens very slowly, not overnight. So slowly. So this is a low grade inflammation, and then not the army but the police will come to fight. The first, the police will be called in. So low grade, and in cases the army will come later on. So this low grade inflammation happens in diabetes, in aging. Low grade, slowly things are happening. Not proper rationing, which means not proper diet, lifestyle. So slowly. Diabetes, aging, even Alzheimer's disease, obesity, cancer. So there was a research in which inflammatory markers. So there are some markers or some tests which you can do for inflammation. So they did, and on obese people, and then again when the same people lost weight. So after losing weight, the markers of inflammation, they came down, which means that after losing weight, inflammation came down. So obesity is also considered a slow grade inflammation only. Then cancers also develop after a slow grade inflammation. So these are some of the examples of slow grade inflammation.
That brings me to wonder, and that brings me to the question, can you diagnose it early?
Yes, we can diagnose it early. Of course, if autoimmunity develops, it develops quickly, and then you will be diagnosing it based on what part is attacked. So for thyroiditis, there'll be like thyroid antibodies, which
Okay.
have to be measured. For rheumatoid arthritis in the joints, there'll be rheumatoid test. So different tests for different autoimmunity. But in general, for slow grade inflammation, you can do the C-reactive protein test,
Okay.
CRP. It is a protein secreted by liver
Mm-hmm.
to against inflammation, you can say.
Okay.
So higher this protein,
Mm-hmm.
the higher the inflammation in the body.
Okay. Got it.
So you might say that you don't have arthritis, you don't have a sore throat,
Yes.
you don't have diabetes, but still, do you have inflammation? Yes, possibly.
Okay.
With all this modern diet and lifestyle, each one of us is inflamed to a certain extent. So this test can tell.
Okay.
But of course, if you have an acute, let's say, fever or any infection, then this test will be up.
Okay. So
And,
you
and once the infection settles down, after a few days, this test also comes down.
okay. So you should probably do it on a day when you're feeling well.
When you're feeling well.
Okay.
So if you're feeling well and still this is high, that means you have a low grade inflammation slowly developing, which is not showing itself today, but it will raise its head later on.
Okay. Okay. So now I know that Ayurveda also takes a holistic approach to everything. And just like we talked in our vitamins video, if you have not seen it, please go and watch it. It's a really good and informational video. But come back to the topic, is inflammation also mentioned in Ayurveda, or is it not mentioned in Ayurveda?
Yes, it is mentioned. It's mentioned, under a part of or under a banner of many diseases.
So it's not a separate.
It's not a separate thing.
Okay.
But you can always understand it with metaphors, with gunas. As you know, Ayurveda is a science of metaphors, science of qualities. So we try to understand the quality. So I always like to give the example of a burning candle. So we have a candle burning here
Okay.
for you. So let's say this is a candle burning. It's in flame.
Yes.
So there are two aspects to this flame. One is the flame itself, which is pitta or fire, pitta dosha.
Yes.
We have separate videos on doshas where the audience can go and understand more about doshas. So pitta dosha, and then there's the wind or oxygen, which is guiding this fire.
Yes.
So they say that vayuna yatra niyante, which means wherever wind wants to take this fire, it will take it. It will guide and control this fire. So each fire has two aspects, pitta or fire itself, the flame itself, and vata or the wind.
Yes.
So the wind can take it, in this direction or in this direction. So wind is what will help in spreading this inflammation.
Okay.
So as long as this fire is in control, we have fire burning in the gut. As long as it is under control, then it's a good fire. It's a good immunity. It will help in immunity. It will help in digestion, metabolism.
How do you keep it under control?
Well, of course, we need all the three doshas.
Okay. A good lifestyle?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
A good diet, lifestyle, healthy eating habits, sleeping habits, all those, and of course, exercise habits.
Okay.
Because exercise, there are these two arms and two legs are like four blades of a fan.
Okay.
And there's a fire burning inside. So as the fans move, this fire is under control.
Yes, that's a good example actually.
If the fan moves too fast,
Yes.
over exercise, this fire will die.
Okay.
If the fan doesn't move at all, sedentary lifestyle, this fire will die again. If we eat too heavy, if I put too much oil in this candle, it will die. If I put too little oil, it will not burn. So too much food, overeating will kill it. Too little will also kill it.
Yes. So you always need to have a balance.
So that's where balance comes in.
Okay.
So aggravated vata and pitta, aggravated wind and aggravated fire will lead to inflammation.
Okay.
wind going in all directions, fire burning too much. So these fires will be like little sparks, as in a factory, the sparks come out.
Yes.
So when they go out of hand, these little sparks can burn all over.
Okay.
So Vata and Pitta.
Okay. Got it.
So which is the third one? Kapha. So Kapha will balance these two.
Okay.
So when we talk of diet and lifestyle later on, we'll discuss that. It has to be a Kapha diet and Kapha lifestyle which will control inflammations.
Okay. So now I would like to ask you, what is the leading cause of inflammation?
Well, if you ask me the slow grade inflammation, which is the leading killer,
Yes.
WHO has termed that this low grade inflammation is the leading killer now.
Okay.
Because low grade inflammation is a part of every disease, be
Okay.
it diabetes, cancer,
Okay.
Alzheimer's. So low grade inflammation basically happens through our diet, lifestyle.
Okay.
If you ask me which diet, then two leading killers will be white sugar and refined oils. We
Okay.
have discussed about it in separate videos
Yes.
again and again, how this white sugar causes glycation, and
Yes.
how the refined oils, they are very inflammable.
Yes.
They are easy to be radicalized, like a radicalized population.
Yes.
These anything cooked in refined oils, because it's so full of free radicals. It's radicalized. It's ready to radicalize anything which it comes in contact with.
Yes.
It can change the nature of our tissues once it comes in contact with our tissues. Set it to fire.
So what about back in time? What about when there was no refined oil and refined sugar? Like there was a time when there was none of these existed. So how did people get inflammation then?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So when these books on Ayurveda were written thousands of years ago, of course, there was no white sugar, no refined oils,
Yes.
but still inflammation was mentioned. So that means inflammation was there despite this, which means it's not what we eat is not as important. If it was important, then inflammation should have not been there
Yes.
in those times.
Yes.
Because there was no white sugar and no refined oil. So what we eat is secondary, I think. Important is how we eat, how we hold ourselves. Our diet, our lifestyle
Okay.
in general is more inflammation causing than actual, we play the blame game always. Now modern science loves to, they'll always name, 5 top inflammatory foods.
Yes.
And then 5 top non-inflammatory.
Yes.
So there's nothing like that.
Okay.
It's not that good foods will not cause inflammation. It's not that if you eat those 5 top non-inflammatory foods, you'll be free of all inflammation. So it's a more umbrella term. It's more pattern. It's more lifestyle.
Okay.
More broader. How you eat, how you hold yourself, how you exercise, how you sleep. So that's, I think, more important. So again, coming back to in those times, what caused inflammation? So let's assume you are eating rotis, and you have rotis healthy, made of good wheat,
Yes.
whole wheat, and you have appetite to eat only 2 rotis, and you eat 5. So those extra 3 will stay inside, and they will the body's fire will not be able to burn it, and it will be absorbed as such into the blood as toxins. The undigested part will go into the blood, and then it will go into different tissues. Let's say it lands up in your joints. It's not as simple as this, but just to explain. So if it lands up in your joints, so there is a fire at the level of tissues as well. So this fire then burns. It says, okay, the gut didn't burn this, so let me burn the tissue. The joint says, let me burn this thing now. So then the joint itself gets on fire, inflamed. So even a healthy thing, if eaten wrongly.
Okay.
So in this case, it was overeating. It can also be eating at wrong times. You were not hungry. It was, let's say you had lunch at 2 p.m. and again at 4 p.m. Your mind, because you were bored, you wanted to eat, you were not actually hungry.
Yes.
You ate something very healthy, let's say even milk or fruits, but at wrong time.
Yes.
So again, they will not be digested, and then from the gut, land up undigested into the tissues. The tissues say, okay, the gut didn't break it, let me burn it. and there is an inflammation happening.
So I'm guessing it's not really the roti that goes into the joints, but it's rather an
The
undigested.
proteins, undigested proteins and
Yes,
sugars. Yes.
amino acids. Some kind of.
Yes. So it should be properly broken down into amino acids, but instead of that, longer or bigger proteins.
Okay.
They land up, and they land up into the tissues, or they can block your lymphatic system.
Okay.
That's how this bloating and all happens. When undigested stuff lands up in your lymphatic system of your gut, it causes like a traffic jam.
Okay.
And then there's heaviness, bloating, you feel full.
Yes. Okay.
So this low-grade inflammation is of course more dependent on how we carry ourselves, how we eat, more than what we do, what we eat, what we consume. So diet can cause inflammation, and then sleep, not sleeping properly. So again, you're more focused on number of hours, but if you choose the wrong hours, let's say you do 8 hours sleep, but from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Yes.
So that's also inflammation causing.
Okay.
Exercise, over exercise. We have a separate talk on that.
Yes.
What is over exercise? So over exercise is inflammation causing. So anything which involves vata and pitta. Vata is activity, pitta is flame. So over exercising, again, too much activity, and it will bring up inflammation. Too much fire, heat.
Okay.
Similarly, overthinking, stress. Stress is also an activity. Maybe you are not moving, but the mind is moving continuously, and it is increasing the heart to pump more.
Yes.
So you might think that you are not moving, but the internal organs are moving. So that is vata again. And movement always generates some heat. So vata and pitta. So again, inflammation. So wind and fire element gone out of whack will cause inflammation.
Okay.
So diet, sleep, exercise, stress, smoking, all this.
Okay. So before I ask you the right diet that we should follow, can you tell me how can we diagnose inflammation without the tests? Like, are there any?
Well, this, as I told you, CRP, reactive protein, is a simple test which we can use. Apart from that, some simple signs: if you're feeling low, low energy all the time without any reason, and low in mood, low in energy, and you're facing inflammations, maybe ulcers, frequent allergies, and fast aging. You feel that you're aging fast.
Getting bald too soon.
Yes.
Okay.
So these can be some signs. We have to look for wind and fire element again. More wind.
Okay.
You're feeling dry all the time. You're feeling more on fire. Maybe heartburns and diarrheas. So all these will be some of the signs of inflammation.
Okay. So now, how can we correct the slow growing
Yes.
inflammation?
So that's very important. The answer. Otherwise, this is of no use talking about inflammation and creating fears in the mind. So there's no need to fear. So again, coming back to the intelligence of Ayurveda. So if vata and pitta gone out of whack is the cause, then kapha, the third dosha, is the treatment.
Okay.
So you have to eat more kapha-like foods. So this Ashtang Hridayam, the age-old text, it talks about Snigdha Shito Gurur Manda Sthira Kapha.
Okay.
Snigdha Shito Gurur Manda Sthira Kapha. So this has to be the diet. Snigdha. Snigdha means good fats.
Okay.
Good fats will kill slow inflammation.
Okay.
Again, we just completed the talk on ghee.
Yes.
So ghee will be great because it's a snigdha shita. So it controls wind because of being oily, and it controls fire because of being cold, cooling. Ghee is cooling food, cooling. And so it controls both the elements, wind and fire. Yes. So again, it's not that tomorrow morning you start eating loads of ghee. Ghee, you can go and refer to the talk on ghee.
Yes.
And of course, exercising is very important. So Any food which belongs to this category of snigdha, good fats, ghee, butter, coconut oil, although these will take care of inflammations.
Even dry fruits?
Dry fruits also, but they must be soaked overnight.
So what about dry nuts like walnut?
Yes, all these are anti-inflammatory, but they must be soaked overnight, according to Ayurveda.
So even the walnut?
Yes.
Okay.
Although it will remove the crunchiness and you will
Yes.
not like to eat.
Yeah. I was wondering. That's why I asked specifically about the walnut.
If you're not inflamed, then why not? You can eat as such. But talking of inflammation, because you see, these dry fruits, they are nothing but seeds, seed aspect, seed.
Yes.
So seed carries a lot of energy inside. Seed, according to Ayurveda, is heating.
Yes.
So if you eat seed as such, then it might increase inflammation, because inflammation is also heat.
Okay.
So why is there so much heat? Because this seed wants to break open the wall and come out as a seedling,
Yes. Sprout.
come out as a sprout.
Yes.
So that heat helps it to break open, like a drilling machine. When you want to drill a tunnel,
Yes.
you use a drilling machine, and that the heat of the drill
Yes.
breaks open. Similarly, the heat will drill through and it will sprout.
Yes.
So nuts are heating foods, and a sprout is a cooling food.
Okay.
So sprouts will be great anti-inflammatory.
Okay. Okay.
Eating nuts as such might not be good for inflammation. So once you soak them overnight, the cooling of the water makes them really anti-inflammatory. Super.
Okay. So people with maybe some disease like let's say celiac disease.
Yes. Now then there'll be disease-specific diets. It will be a matter of separate talk.
Yes. So it's a general opinion
yes.
that you should have. So
Because celiac disease is not a slow inflammation. It's now manifest. It's a fast, acute inflammation. The rules will be different.
okay.
What we are focusing now is a slow grade, how to recover from slow grade inflammation,
Okay.
low grade inflammation, and chronic,
Yes.
not acute. In acute, the rules will change.
Okay.
So snigdha, all the oily things, as you rightly said, nuts as well. Shito, cooling foods will be great anti-inflammatory. Shito, snigdha, shito. So what are cooling foods? All fruits.
Okay. You should have fruits.
The modern science says fruits are rich in polyphenols. Yes. So according to Ayurveda, it's Shita Guna. Fruits, salads, they are cooling. So they will cool down the inflammation. So great. All the colorful fruits, all kinds, and all the colorful vegetables,
Okay.
all kinds. Top anti-inflammatory as well.
Okay.
So according to Ayurveda, they belong to the Shita category. Now, this is not if you have like a pharyngitis
Okay.
and you start eating fruits and fruit juices. Not
Yes.
good because again, pharyngitis is not it's an acute inflammation. You're
Okay.
sick right now.
Okay. Okay.
Then you have to eat, drink warm, maybe this ginger tea
Yes.
or tulsi tea,
Okay.
and fast and all those things.
Okay.
So snigdha, shito, and then manda. Manda is very important. Manda means slow. Manda
Okay.
is a quality of kapha.
Okay.
Slow means you have to slow down. Lifestyle. The thoughts have to slow down, because the more the thoughts, movement, any movement always will generate heat
Yes.
due to friction. So this movement of thoughts, constant movement of joints, anything will generate heat and inflammation. So slow lifestyle is anti-inflammatory according to Ayurveda. So sleeping on time, slowness in exercise, yoga is great anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
Meditation is anti-inflammatory. Again, both slow you down.
Okay.
Exercise is anti-inflammatory if you do it slowly within the limits.
Okay.
Very fast and very,
With
excessive will be again inflammatory, pro-inflammatory. So if you keep these things in mind, snigdha, oiliness, shita, cool, and manda, slowness of lifestyle.
Okay.
anything. Slow eating.
Yes.
You eat very slowly. You slow down your thinking with meditation.
Yes.
That's why leading a life in a village is more anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
A fast city life is pro-inflammatory.
Yes.
I'm not saying everybody moves to village,
Yes.
but if you have an option, if you want to really move out of inflammation,
Yes.
spend some time in the countryside, in nature, that's anti-inflammatory because again of these qualities.
Yes.
Slowness.
Good for your mind, good for your body.
Yes.
Okay. So now coming to one more question that I have is how to reverse aging? Not aging, I'm sorry. How to reverse inflammation?
So again, following this qualities, following this diet and lifestyle will reverse it.
Okay.
And I don't personally, and even Ayurveda doesn't believe in those like 5 superfoods
Yes.
and these things.
I'm glad I didn't ask you the question. What are the top 5 the top 5 food that we should avoid?
So Ayurveda is a qualitative science. You just what are instead of the nouns. So if I name 5 top foods,
Yes.
that will take us away from the essence of Ayurveda.
Yes.
That's a science of nouns, naming something. If I focus on the quality and try to understand the qualities, adjectives,
Yes.
that's what Ayurveda is about.
Okay.
So, Snigdha, Guru, Shita, Manda.
Okay.
Cooling foods, whichever cooling foods, cooling lifestyle, spending time in nature, cold morning walks, in early morning is again cooling.
Yes.
Gentle dip in a swimming pool is cooling.
Yes.
But it's not cold. Cold is again disease causing. I'm talking of cooling. There's a difference of
Yes, yes.
degrees between something cooling and something cold.
Yes.
Cold will then again increase wind, vata. The aim is not to go for cold.
Okay.
Uh,
Can you
so
name something cold and something
ice
cooling?
cream.
Okay, ice cream is cold.
Ice cream is cold.
Ghee is cooling.
Ghee is cooling.
Okay.
Coconut oil is cooling.
So maybe I should bottle down on the amount of ice cream that I have.
Yes.
Okay. And I also
Again, like living in a very cold place would be cold.
okay. Not recommended. That means.
Ideally, now people live everywhere now.
Yes.
They make their arrangements. Yeah, it's good.
Yes. So is this place too cold, or is this place normal?
No, this is a good place to live actually.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So you're talking about extremely cold places
Yes, extremely cold places. That will be cold.
where ice is just there all the time almost.
Yes.
Okay.
So even if in terms of behavior, there's cool. You say someone is cool,
Yes.
like you are cool.
Yes.
So that's a positive thing.
Yes.
If I say you are cold,
Yes.
that's a negative.
Yes.
You're cold means you don't want to talk to people. You give
Yes.
cold shoulder to people. So that's the difference between cool and
Yes.
cold.
Okay.
Shita in Ayurveda is now degrees of Shita. Too much Shita will cause aggravation of Vata, and a gentle Shita will cause more Kapha in the system and will be anti-inflammatory.
Okay. Okay. So I also heard from you that aging is also related to inflammation, and I cannot understand it how. So before wrapping this up, can you please?
Yes, so in aging, all the toxins which we have consumed during the lifetime, now they will start piling up in different tissues, and tissues want to burn them slowly. So arthritis and all these things, even at the level of the brain, your brain is inflamed.
Yes.
That's why you start losing memory, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. All these are Vata and Pitta diseases. Vata in combination with the fire.
Okay.
So all these diseases happen more in old age.
Yes.
So then the skin becomes dry. The tissues generally become dry. Your joints,
Yes.
and the water goes away. The grease dries up, and then there is a friction, which causes heat and inflammation.
Okay. Got it. So I think that sums it all up. And before ending this video, can you please give us a short summary?
Yes, so inflammation is something inflames. So
Okay.
it's a protective, it's a part of our immune system. So that's good inflammation. And then when it goes wrong,
Yes.
and that's bad inflammation. So it can be a very fast inflammation, which of course needs disease specific treatment.
Yes.
And then a slow growing or low grade inflammation,
Okay.
which is more common and which is the leading cause of disease and which can be easily reversed.
Okay.
So, what are the leading causes? Of course, sugars and refined foods, packaged foods, all these. And more than that, keeping Ayurveda in mind, the style of eating or the style of living, which we call vihara
Yes.
in Ayurveda. That's very important. So, keeping the qualities in mind, uh, shita, snigdha, manda. Oiliness is important, good oils and fats, cooling foods like salads and fruits, and manda, a slowness of eating, lifestyle, diet, lifestyle,
Okay.
a slowness about everything. All these things are anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
So this will reverse inflammation and we'll have a good life.
Okay. Got it. So I think that sums it all up. And now, if you want to watch how fats work and how ghee works, then you should watch this podcast. And then, if you want to watch how wrong food combinations work, then you should watch this video below. Now, that's all for this video, and me and Dr. Sharma will see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye, namaste.